Hello everybody, Shadefire here, and today I'm doing a little bit of a revisiting video for Darksiders, the Warmastered edition, as they called it. Because since they announced a Darksiders 3 at E3, I thought I'd actually replay this and finish it, because I have not finished it. However, I have previously played this on the 360 all the way up to the final dungeon before not finishing it, so I figured I'd actually finish it this time and then start playing the second one, which I have owned for quite a long time and never played, and which I bought the definitive upgrade during the Steam Summer Sale, so I thought I'd play through these. Alright, so here we are in front of the first proper dungeon of the game, since this is, in a lot of ways, a Zelda-like, with a heavy dollop of God of War. So if you're not familiar with the Darksiders games, it's not really too hard to explain the premise. This is War, one of the four horsemen of the apocalypse. They work for the Charred Council, which is a more powerful sort of entity that kind of maintains the balance between heaven and hell. Anyway, it opens with both heaven and hell invading the earth, you know, the realm of mankind. So War shows up because, you know, during the judgment battle, the horsemen are supposed to show up and mess up everybody, regardless of where they come from. But only War shows up, and then he basically gets punished for showing up at the wrong time because the seals weren't actually broken. And he gets framed as being a servant of the Deceiver, which is their stand-in for a Satan kind of character, leader of demons. So 100 years later, after all the humans are dead, we're sent here to try to take out the Deceiver with all of our powers stripped away and our Watcher character forcing us to do
That must be the Twilight Cathedral where Tiamat holed up. Let's not wait around for an invitation.
You might recognize the lovely Joker voice of Mark Hamill. Anyhow, let's actually get in this dungeon and fuck up some demons. I don't think they drastically improved the original release with this remaster, but I think it still looks good. I mean, say what you will about the art style, because it definitely has one of those ones you're either going to hate or be totally okay with. Sort of a... I want to say this is like a Games Workshop kind of art style with the World of Warcraft, you know, sort of treatment. Which is funny, considering how much of, you know, Blizzard's art style comes from Games Workshop's properties originally. But, like, the angels look like space marines with wings. You know, they've got, like, laser cannon staffs and everything. And one of the head angels, who dies in the prologue, looks like a space marine librarian. Like, in so many ways. I think War looks maybe a little too chunky, but it does kind of go with his playstyle. He definitely doesn't play like a Dante or, you know, Devil May Cry protagonist. A lot slower and heavier. I guess like a Kratos. Though despite that, this is a game where you do more dodging than blocking. You can block, but it's kind of hard to do because it's also on the dodge button. So unless you're standing perfectly still when you try to block, you will dodge instead. Alright, so now we're actually in the dungeon proper.
Over here!
I believe this is a key. Right now the only weapons I have are the... are your Chaos Eater sword, as well as the Scythe. The Scythe is basically your heavy attack, while the Chaos Eater is your regular attacks. You can see that they have a meter at the bottom that fills up as you kill enemies. Basically, your swords and whatnot will level up as you use them. You can see the level at the top there, so I've leveled up both of these once. Certain moves and unlocks you can only get when you've leveled up your weapon a certain amount, so it's worthwhile to mix up your attacks just to get experience for both of those. You get some kind of slotted stuff you can put into your weapons later on, as well as some kind of spells, though I don't use them very much because they're not great, especially this one you start with. These are just collectibles that you get and then can sell to the merchant for currency, so they're actually worth collecting. They're not just there to give you achievements. Here we go. But when I say that, this game is a Zelda-like, I mean, you go into a dungeon, you get a item, and then you use that item to finish the dungeon and fight the boss. It's that kind of Zelda. Speaking of the boss, there she is right there. One of the 4 kind of head demons that we need to kill throughout the game, so that we can give their hearts to another demon who is locked away in prison, so that he will help us against the Deceiver. And he is totally not going to betray us, because why would he do that? I can't actually remember what the item for the Twilight Cathedral is. I think it's a bomb. Alright, so we're going to need to get that down. I don't think we can do that from here, though. These guys aren't even really worth fighting. It's better just to use the instant kill, because they don't give you more currency if you kill them. Because sort of like God of War, there are certain enemies where if you use a finisher on them, you'll get different resources from them than if you use just a regular kill. Like you'll get more health if you do a finisher than if you just hack them up. Alright. Let's just look around, I guess. I don't remember this very well. It's been a long time since I played this. Alright, so proper enemies. So you can do your Z targeting and all that, but obviously it's much more fast-paced than your average Zelda combat. It's weird because it's this conflicting thing where I want to say it's fast-paced, but also that war is not very fluid or quick. I mean, it kind of is, but not as much as some other characters like Bayonetta. And even, I think, Death is kind of a quicker character in the second game. I do wish there was some kind of throw move. You can only do the grabs if an enemy is unkillable. But otherwise, your lead prompt doesn't actually do anything. But I'll definitely say one thing I don't like is before you can actually get to this dungeon, one of the things you have to do is basically just to open a door you need to do 4 challenge arenas, which just seems like such a stalling thing. It's like, oh yeah, you want to progress and actually get to the dungeon, but no, you have to do these combat arenas first. Which I can definitely see that putting some people off. But I mean, I just kind of started playing this yesterday, and ended up playing it for a lot longer than I meant to, because I was actually just having fun. So it is definitely a fun character action game. Some of that stuff there that we need bombs to destroy. I think it's bombs. It might be the gauntlets. There's two different color crystals. There's a blue one and a red one, and you need different items for them. And you know, those replace your heavy attack. I mean, you can switch them out between the scythe and the other weapons. You do get a gun eventually, too. So there's definitely some variety in the equipment you can use in battle. Okay, you need a key for that. Where did I come from? It's that side there. So I can't go up top yet. This way it is. One of the items you get in one of the future dungeons I do remember being pretty much straight up a portal gun, in that it puts down blue and orange portals on specific surfaces. Alright, yeah, so here's the bombs. I think even this is a similar Zelda thing where, you know, in the dungeon where you actually get bombs, you first just find them lying around like this, kind of like the... I actually can't remember what it's called. In Ocarina of Time, you know, as Kid Link when you go into the volcano. I can't remember what the actual name of that dungeon is called. Is it just Dondogo's Cavern? Okay, that's just a health consumable. There's something over there. I guess it is Dondongos. Can't wait to bomb some Dondongos. This should be a key. Nope, it's a map. Again, you get the map, you get the compass, you get the boss key. And that's your Zelda puzzle solved sound. Okay, so I need to set off that bomb there. Don't have anything to do it with here, though. I don't know if we'll do the whole dungeon in this video. I can't remember how long these dungeons are, but we'll make some progress. Fight a sub-boss. Okay, there's the thing I need to drop. How do I get across is the question. It seems like there's no reason for me to be where I am right now, because I can't do anything from up here. So I need that bomb so I can stick it to the tongue so it'll drop the whole thing, and then we can... I think that'll break another hole in the floor. So I guess just go back for now. Jump into the hole. No fall damage, unless it's one of those areas where you just fall and die. Though you don't die unless you just lose some health and respawn at the edge. Okay, if I remember correctly, this is where you actually get the bomb item down here. off in different directions. That should be an achievement. This might be the sub-boss? Nope, just the chest. Though it is a good thing there isn't a style move in this game, because there isn't actually that many moves that we can vary it up with. This is also, because there's no style meter, not one of those games that punishes you for healing, like, you know, Devil May Cry, Bayonetta, and all that, where you will lose your ranking if you heal. Which on the one hand, you know, is supposed to make you play better, but on the other hand, it can just make it stressful. And will be the reason why I'll play something like Metal Gear Rising and just keep restarting checkpoints when I get hit until I can perfect a boss. Okay, not getting in there from this side. I think that's actually the boss arena in there. Notice it now, but there is one of those collectible items up there. There we go. Another soldier icon. And yeah, those just give you a chunk of currency when you turn them in. So stick the key in this eye over here. I don't remember if we can find the merchant anywhere in here, because I have a lot of souls to spend. Mainly because there's this weird, like, Panzer Dragoon style, you know, rail shooter flying section before this that goes on for way too long and is really slow. So you're basically riding on like a griffin that you can't actually speed up at all. Now this looks like an arena. Big demon fella. Some just souls right here. Oh, I bet he has what I need. Break his armor first. Okay, there's Shang Tsung. Okay, let's use one of my magic abilities. Ah, great. Swords. You can see why it's not very good. Oh, maybe he doesn't have what I need. these sword keys, but I didn't see somewhere else where you could use it. Maybe I just wasn't paying good enough attention. The ultimate crime of the game-playing YouTuber. But yeah, I just think this is a pretty decent game overall. It's not amazing, you know, it's certainly not the best Zelda-like, but it's fun. And that's really all.
Over here!
I would say that the voice acting in this sounds pretty good, but there's not a lot of interesting dialogue, especially not from War. You know, Mr. Gruff-Face McAngry. I guess it makes sense for the embodiment of violence to be, you know, gruff and angry and pretty much nothing else all the time. But as a character, he's not the most interesting. A lot of the other characters you meet are kind of better characterized, like the merchant. Also, I have to wonder, did the giant bat monster make this elaborate puzzle type stuff, or was that the demon minions? There's that griffin I rode in on. Those two are still fighting. I actually can't remember now. What distinguished a hippogriff from a griffin? It's been a while. Okay, we've got a key there. And we've got a bomb here. And I think... Okay, that guy was just gonna grab me if I try to grab this. Hey, remember this guy? Here he is again with some friends. These little guys first. Not only can you block, but you can actually parry, but again, for the same reason, it's kind of hard to do. I think I did it there. Why are you so much stronger than the last one? There we go. Get a chance to do a finisher on him. Did I come from that door? I think I did. Make sure there's no other paths that I'm missing here before I carry on. Okay, let's see, updraft, and thing was over there, or not wings, chest over there. Wings. Grab this collectible. Oh, that's a better one. It's worth more. I guess they're kind of like the bottle caps in Resident Evil 4. Oh, something up here? I actually don't think we can make it across this gap with my wings, because they do run out after a short time. And this is just gonna go right into the lava. Put that on there in case I am about to die. Though death is really not very punishing in this game. It basically just puts you back at the checkpoint, but any collectibles or chests or anything you open will still be open. So all you really lose is the distance you have to cross, and maybe enemies you have to refight. So this puts us here. Drop that down there, and we need this to get on top of what exactly? What do I need this for? Well, I can only move it on this path, so I guess the question is moot. So I can't get through here until I have a way to get rid of that guy. Otherwise he'll just snatch me up. But I think we should be able to take down that tentacle now from this side. Cue the puzzle solved noise. So I think we'll maybe stop after I get the item that should be down here. I said again. It may seem like these regular enemies take a lot of hits, but again, it's because of weapon upgrades. Later in the game, these guys will be much less resistant. And you know, they'll be mixed in with a lot stronger enemies. I'm just gonna use this because I don't know when the next health chest will pop up. Again, like Zelda, you get more health by collecting 4 items, which together give you a full new health bar, instead of just 1 heart. Okay, now that looks like it might have what I want. Oh, well, there's a health chest right there. So let's see, what do you got for me? I guess I was wrong. It's not the bombs. The bombs are just part of the dungeon. Oh yeah, this is your... Was it Twilight Princess that had a boomerang type thing like this, where you could lock onto a bunch of targets? sitting back here. Maybe he won't notice me. Alright, let's see if I can lock on all of these guys. I do like that you can lock on, throw it, and then hit the guy that's being hit by the blade at the same time. One thing I don't like about that stinger kind of dash is that it knocks enemies away. Instead of getting you closer to them, it just pushes them away, and you have to chase them down. Goofy palm fella. Nothing wrong with grinding on objects. I thought he was gonna explode. Deploy sword. That's a keep an eye out for the watcher or something. Yeah, what's up?
What is this place? I have to admit, for a bunch of weaklings, those humans were full of surprises. Who knows what secrets they buried down here?
So I guess I can't actually go in there, that's just where that guy spawned. Now I can set off bombs from a distance, which does what I thought the getting bombs would do. Now there's still a crystal in the back. Here, toss more maze. What does that actually get for me? Another switch. How does that gear on that door actually turn in any effective way? Can't get in there without a key. And well, it looks like both of these are connected. Okay, that creates a path, which lets me circle around here. Imbue crossblade. Comes with energy from certain targets it strikes. Wasn't that how the glaive in Dark Sector worked? You could absorb elements with it. Not that anyone actually played Dark Sector and remembers what I'm talking about. That's another game that's on the list for someday. The the ancestor of Warframe. Alright, so this just gets me out here. I guess I'll have to backtrack for that key. That's probably a optional thing there. Because there are a few optional, you know, treasure chests in the dungeon. Just like in your Zeldas. Alright, well, we got our fancy blade, and we saw the dungeon, so I think that's probably a good place to stop for this kind of little look at a game that I've already played. And, you know, maybe if it interests you, pick up the Warmastered version next time it's on sale, since it goes on sale for dirt cheap, and has been on sale a few times. And, you know, hopefully we'll be able to finish this and the second one before the third one comes out, though I don't think that had a release date yet, so at the very least that won't be till next year. And maybe we'll check that out when it comes out. I think I'll do another video of the second game once I get to that, you know, because this one's not that long, but the second one I've heard is quite a bit longer, because it's more of an RPG with loot and all that. Anyhow, I've been Shadefire, this is Darksiders, and I hope you'll join me for the huge mass of stuff
for a
I need
bunch
to catch
of
up on.
weaklings, those humans.
But until then, take care, folks.